This time, we're going to bring up the very first company, WeCashUp from Cameroon.
Okay. Moving money fast here in Africa is very, very difficult. Transaction costs are 15 times higher here, and settlement times can last up to 20 days. This is not just a huge impediment to our economic growth. It can be a matter of life or death. 9 years ago, I stood in the hospital with my dad after a sudden collapse. The doctor could not admit him without full upfront payment. We didn't have enough cash, and our friends didn't have efficient ways to send money fast to the hospital. He didn't receive appropriate care in time. He died that day in my arms in the waiting room. I was 16. 4 years later, I traveled to Kenya for a developer conference, and I watched it as my friend Kenneth just pulled out M-PESA and paid for our goods with instant mobile money. And I said, wow, if we had such a technology in Cameroon in 2008, maybe my dad would still be alive today. It turns out there are more than 155 mobile money wallets running isolated one from another in our continent, making it very difficult to make cross-network payments, cross-border payments, and online payments. Not anymore. Introducing WeCashUp. WeCashUp is a universal mobile money payment platform that enables online merchants to accept all cash and mobile money wallet online through a single API. We offer the best conversion rate, the highest security system using our blockchain ledger, and ease of transaction processing for the unbanked across currencies. We have been working very hard to launch WeCashUp 1.0 10 months ago in 14 Francophone African countries. And today, it's my great pleasure to come back to this beautiful land of Kenya to launch WeCashUp 2.0 that now support cash, mobile money, credit and debit card, bank mobile wallet, and cryptocurrencies. Now let's show you how it works. Let's go to demo. Okay, right. Okay, so we have been working very closely with an e-health center called MedexCare that empowers physical hospitals across Africa. And they have adopted WeCashUp to facilitate payments for the patient. So for the case of my dad, the bill was 600,000 francs CFA. So let's just click Pay Now, and you have this wonderful payment box. So I can select my payment method, cash, mobile money, card, etc. So I will pay with mobile money. I select my country and fill in my number. And I just have 300,000 francs CFA in my wallet, so I need more. So we have built a split payment feature that enables us to pay the part that we have and invite our friends. So I will pay my 300,000, and I invite my friend Mark Zuckerberg in the US to pay with me. Just click and pay. He will receive an invite by email or text message, and I will get a confirmation code, just like the 3D Secure with the credit card. I put it in, and I click pay, I confirm, and voila! let's go back to the slides. Back to the slide. Okay. So WeCashUp enables merchants to accept, split, disburse, dispatch payment to sellers, hold money for marketplaces, and top up airtime to any prepaid mobile phone in Africa in 42 countries. So, of course, we are competing with other platforms such as M-PESA Africa, that's in South Africa, that pushes mobile money payment to wallets, and Flutterwave in Nigeria that processes credit cards. We do both, and we have built the first blockchain tunneling network, which is a global interoperability network that secures and interconnects all these payment channels to facilitate cross-network payments, cross-border payments, and online payments globally. And we hold 6 patents on our technology. We charge a monthly fee and a transaction fee. We already onboarded 4,000 plus merchants in only 10 months with a 100% conversion rate after our 6-month trial, and we are growing 150% month over month.
You got to wrap it up.
And we are targeting to grab this $70 billion market. And so if you are a merchant, a financial institution, or a mobile money operator, just sign up on WeCashUp.com to reach the next billion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good job. Even you had issues there with the slides, and that was on our end. Judges, do you have any questions?
Questions. I'm not sure if my mic's on. Okay, great. Good job, guys. Great to hear your pitch. I have a couple questions, but I'll start with one and let the other judges continue. So I know success of transactions has been a major issue across the continent, and especially if you're layering on top of other platform providers, there might be an issue with branding if the transactions aren't going through successfully. So how are you managing that, and what is actually your success rate in the transactions actually being able to go through?
Okay, so we partner with banks and financial institutions. So we are not a financial institution, so we don't hold money for the merchant. So we are completely white label for the merchant. So when the customer pays, the money goes right from the bank to the merchant's bank account. So the transaction cost is really, really, really small.
Mm. Yeah. I guess I get that, but what if the bank, what if it's their problem? They're having an issue and the transaction doesn't go through, but it's your brand that's really on the face of the platform. So I think that would be an issue for you as well.
Okay. So when the merchant sign up at WeCashUp, we collect all the KYC documents and we process them and we send them to our bank or the mobile money operator. So there's a contract between the merchant and the mobile operator directly. So there's a direct relationship between them. So that's why money flows from the mobile operator or the bank to the merchant. So there's a kind of three-party relationship. So we build the technology to interconnect all of this, but there's a legal relationship between the merchant and the bank directly. So yeah, that's how we handle that issue, and it's fine for the bank and for the merchants.
Yeah,
okay,
a quick question on my part, actually, 2 questions. Number 1 question is, how do you amplify cash? Because cash is one of your collections, so it would be good to understand that. And then number 2 question, you have signed up 42 countries in 10 months. Congratulations, that's quite good. Is that directly you, or is that through partnerships?
Okay, so for the first question, we saw, transactions in Africa, more than 90% of our transactions are still cash. So losing that potential is, it's a huge loss. So we are working with microfinance, these money transfer companies who have like physical point of sales everywhere. So when a customer wants to pay with cash, we generate a bill number, and then we say, hey, go to the closest Express Union agency and pay this bill. That's how they do with the utility bills, electricity, etc. So we do the same online. So the guy goes and has like 42 hours maximum to pay the bill. And once the bill is paid, we receive a confirmation, and then we send the confirmation to the merchant. And then the second question.
42 countries.
Okay, yes. Definitely, we don't need to be physically in all these countries because we rely on partnerships. What we do generally is we partner with telecoms company or banks at their headquarters. So they open us all the countries where they are.
Can you speak a bit more about the competitive landscape? Because the two players you highlighted, MFS and Flutterwaves, have been around for some time and have raised a significant amount of capital. So can you speak about, outside of the payment channels, because they could probably add some of the ones that you have, what is your competitive advantage, and how will you maintain that going forward?
I'll say, yes, they have been there for a while, but I'll say we have, first of all, a footprint of 14 countries, and we have cash and mobile money in those 14 countries, and we are powering that. They are not able, some, like for instance Flutterwave is doing cards now, and maybe they're moving into mobile money. For MFS, they're pushing to wallets. And
Speak up, speak up.
Oh, sorry. They're pushing to wallets, and they're not accepting. So we're doing both, because we noticed that once we're doing the accept, our merchants in the last 10 months kept asking, okay, how can we push money and also accept? So we added more features in the 2.0 based on the feedback.
Just one more detail. We decided not to become a financial institution. So when you become an acquirer, you need to have a banking license in each one of these 54 countries in Africa. We don't do that for now. We decided to work with banks, so we rely on real high-level partnership, so we don't need to collect payments, and that's why we are going so fast.
And just to quickly follow up on Andres' question, something that was glaringly missing in your slide was just your volume, the money question. So basically in 10 months, how much volume have you actually moved?
Okay, today we are about 1 million transactions per month with an average basket of 10 euros, which is actually 10 million euros flux per month. And all these merchants are not already live. We are not taking money from them already, because we give them 6 months free just to test the platform to make sure we know the numbers, etc. And then once they cross these 6 months and they start paying, that's why today we have 100% conversion rate.
I mean, that's a lot of transactions. Can you give us more texture over how many users that is and sort of how many of them are cross-border? Because 42 is impressive, but I wonder how many people use it. And then just to follow up on that, why do you think Flutterwave, which does have a strong team, is only in 4 and not in 42 like you?
Okay, so in terms of people, so the users, generally we balance, we say, okay, in our projects we say 1 user transaction per year. So we identify them as 1 user. So with this 10 million transactions are generally 1 user per month. And sometimes they come back the next month. So it depends on the merchant's business. We don't really control that. And the second on why the others don't move so fast, I don't know. I don't definitely know. We have our way of thinking. We took 4 years to study the African market. Central bank per central bank, and we have built what we call a rule book that enables us to know when a cross-border transaction will go, let's say from Kenya to Cameroon, we respect the rules from the Kenyan central bank and the rules from the BEAC in Central Africa. So that's some of our advantage, the competitive advantage.
Just building on, how much of your transactions are cross-border?
There are not too much transaction cross-border. Not too much, about, let's say, 2% now. But we believe in the fact that when a merchant in Cameroon will know that he can sell his product in Kenya and get paid, this will grow.
Yeah. 2% cross-border.
Yeah.
Can I ask just one quick question? So I may have missed this, but this team of yours, we never actually talked about it. So we're hearing bits and pieces that you spent 4 years and this and that. So who are you guys? And tell us about you guys.
Oh my God. So maybe I can say about myself. I am a software engineer for about 6 years. Worked a lot in the Kenyan ecosystem as a senior software engineer, and also worked abroad as well. And I met this guy, and we started just doing a lot of R&D on payments and solving problems. The team comes from, we are 16
people coming from 14 different countries.
But 14 different African countries.
So I'm Cedric Atangana, I'm 25, Cameroonian, computer engineer, graduated from Polytech Marseille in France. I'm doing an MBA at INSEAD in Fontainebleau, Paris, and another MBA at Stanford University to complete my...
Great. Thank you very much. Let's give one more round of applause for WeCashUp.